be a first-time Olympian at the age that Hezly is, this is the team you want to be on, surrounded by veterans who got your back and that can bring you that confidence.
In June 2026, at the Pan American Championships in Rio de Janeiro, a 17-year-old American gymnast walked out with a sore hamstring, competed on exactly one event instead of her usual 4, and still walked away with a gold medal as part of Team USA. That's not the headline. The headline is where she was 2 years earlier and the Olympic legend whose own teenage record she's now standing right next to in the history books. Her name is Hezly Rivera. In 2024, at 16 years old, she became the youngest American Olympian across every single sport at the Paris Games. A year later, she did something only one other woman has done since 1984. Became a national all-around champion younger than almost anyone in the sport's modern history. We'll get to exactly how young, but first, you need to know how a 5-year-old at a stranger's birthday party ended up on this path at all. Hezly Rivera was born on the 4th of June, 2008, in Hackensack, New Jersey, and raised nearby in Oradell, one of 3 children to Heidi Ruiz and Henry Rivera in the family. No parent who competed, no relative who coached. Just a normal New Jersey household until a 5-year-old went to a friend's birthday party. The party happened to be held at a gymnastics facility. Staff at the gym watched Rivera during the open playtime and approached her parents directly, suggesting she try out for the team. That's the entire origin story. No scouting network, no 5-year plan, a 5-year-old bouncing around at a party, and a coach who happened to be paying attention. She started at ENA Gymnastics in Paramus, New Jersey, training under Craig Zappa, then moved to a program run by Maggie Haney. By age 10, she was hooked on the sport in a serious way, no longer just a kid having fun on a Saturday. By 2020, her potential had outgrown what her home state could offer her. The family made a decision that reshaped their entire life. They left New Jersey for Plano, Texas, so Rivera could train at Woga Gymnastics under Valery and Anna Liukin, the parents and coaches of 2008 Olympic all-around champion Nastia Liukin. A New Jersey family uprooting itself for a gym in Texas is not a small decision. It's the kind of sacrifice that only makes sense if the coaches watching her already believe what the parents suspect. Her father, an engineer who had immigrated from the Dominican Republic, gave her a copy of Kobe Bryant's book on mental discipline. A small detail, but one that tells you the kind of household this was. Not a gymnastics dynasty, just parents trying to give their daughter every tool they could find. In 2022, as a junior, Rivera made her first national podium at Winter Cup, finishing 3rd in the all-around behind Kayla DiCello and Sky Blakely, both of whom were already being talked about as future Olympians. In 2023, she broke through completely, becoming US. At the Junior World Championships that same year, she helped Team USA to a silver medal, despite a frightening moment when her hand slipped mid-vault and sent her crashing hard to the mat in front of the entire field. She got up, she finished the competition. That instinct, fall, get up, keep going, was about to be tested in a much crueler way, at the worst possible moment in her career. In May 2024, 1 week before the US Classic, one of the final qualifying meets before Olympic trials, Rivera's grandmother passed away. Then severe storms across the country made travel to the competition in Hartford, Connecticut, nearly impossible. Rivera and several other Texas-based gymnasts, including 2012 Olympic all-around champion Gabby Douglas, arrived in the middle of the night, just hours before their official practice on the competition equipment. She competed anyway, grieving and exhausted, with barely any time to adjust to the new gym. She struggled through all 4 routines, and at the Olympic trials in Minneapolis, with other contenders like Sky Blakely, Shalise Jones, and Kayla DiCello sidelined by injury, Rivera delivered exactly when it counted 5th in the all-around, tied for 1st on balance beam. On the 30th of June, 2024, she was named to the 5-woman U.S. Olympic team, alongside veterans Simone Biles, Suni Lee, Jordan Chiles, and Jade Carey. At the announcement, she said simply, "I made a lot of sacrifices to be here, so I'm just so incredibly grateful, forever." At 16 years and 52 days old, Rivera became the youngest athlete on the entire United States delegation to the Paris Olympics. During qualification, she competed on uneven bars and balance beam, contributing solid scores toward the team's position. During the team final itself, the event that actually decided the gold medal, she didn't compete at all. Her 4 veteran teammates carried that final, and when the U.S. women's team won gold, Rivera still earned an Olympic gold medal as a full member of the squad nicknamed the Golden Girls, without ever setting foot on the competition floor for the medal that mattered most. Drop a comment below. Did you know Rivera didn't actually compete in the event that won her that gold medal? An Olympic gold medal at 16 sounds like a finish line. For Rivera, it was closer to a starting gun for an even harder year. She took time away from the gym after Paris, joined the Gold Over America tour alongside Biles and her Olympic teammates, and verbally committed to compete for LSU down the road. Then she had to rebuild an entire competitive season from scratch, essentially starting over as a senior-level athlete for the first time, with no more junior safety net. At the 2025 Winter Cup, she competed only on balance beam and finished 9th. In May, at the Pan American Championships, she made her senior all-around debut and won bronze, plus bronze on beam, while helping the U.S. team to gold. Solid results, but not yet the form of a national title contender. Then came the 2025 U.S. Classic in July, a meet that was supposed to prove she belonged among the sport's elite again. Instead, she fell on both uneven bars and balance beam, and finished tied for 12th in the all-around. "I wanted to prove to myself how strong I am," she said afterward, an honest admission that the result hadn't gone the way she needed it to. An Olympic champion, 16 months removed from Paris, sitting in a 12-way tie in the all-around at a mid-season meet. Was the Olympic run a peak she'd already passed, or a false alarm before the real climb? The 10th of August, 2025, New Orleans, Louisiana, the Xfinity, U.S. Across 2 nights of competition, she traded the lead back and forth with 2-time Olympic alternate Leanne Wong, a full 7-year senior veteran, before finally building a real cushion, then had to defend it on the very last rotation of the entire meet, floor exercise. Earlier in the competition, Wong had thrown a stunning Cheng vault to seize the all-around lead outright, a 14.6 that briefly flipped the entire standings. Rivera answered on beam and bars to retake it, setting up a floor exercise showdown for the title. Wong went first and delivered a clean, confident routine, a 13.6. Rivera needed a 13.4 just to hold the lead, and something stronger to actually win it outright, with a half-point difficulty advantage sitting in her favor if she could land it. She rebounded through nearly every tumbling pass, stayed in bounds, and the judges handed her a 14.2, the single best floor score by anyone across the entire 2-day competition. Final score: Rivera, 112, Wong, 111.2, 112. That's the number. A full 8/10 clear of a 2-time Olympic alternate on the biggest domestic stage in the sport. Rivera didn't just win the all-around. She swept gold on balance, beam, floor exercise, and shared the uneven bars title with Sky Blakely. "It means the world to me to take this national championship title home because I worked so hard for this," she said. "It was not easy coming back after the Olympics. I took some time off, so much work in the gym, hard work, blood, sweat, tears." Here's what that win actually means. Rivera became the youngest U.S. women's all-around champion in 8 years since Regan Smith in 2017. She also became the first gymnast to win both the junior and senior national all-around titles since Jordan Weber pulled off that exact double in 2008 and 2011. 2 extremely specific, extremely rare pieces of American gymnastics history, both attached to her name in the same month. And there's an older piece of history sitting right behind those numbers. Mary Lou Retton was 16 years old in 1984, when she became the first American woman in Olympic history to win the individual all-around gold medal. Sports reporters covering Rivera's rise in 2024 made that exact comparison directly in print, noting that Retton was the same age Rivera is now when she rewrote what an American gymnast could achieve. Retton has never spoken publicly about Rivera by name. This isn't a quote, it's a documented parallel sitting in the record books themselves, and it's still a striking one. Rivera is now a year younger than Retton was in 1984, standing in a coaching and competitive lineage that runs directly from Retton, through Carly Patterson, Nastia Lukin, Gabby Douglas, Simone Biles, and Suni Lee, the exact generation of Olympic champions Rivera just shared a team podium with. Rivera's answer to all of it has never been a victory lap. Just this: "I actually didn't even think about being like a veteran at camp, but it was definitely cool to be back. No grand statement about legacy. Just a 17-year-old going back to work." And the work hasn't stopped. In February 2026, at the Winter Cup in Louisville, Rivera won gold in the all-around, balance beam, and floor exercise, adding a silver on uneven bars behind Charlie Bullock, and was named to the 2026 Senior National Team for the second year running. The following month, she represented the U.S. at the revived American Cup in Las Vegas, where Team China narrowly took the team title over the Americans, with Rivera contributing scores alongside teammates Claire Pease and Charlie Bullock. Then, in June, came that hamstring injury at the Pan American Championships back in Rio, competing through pain on a single downgraded vault rather than risk the rest of her body for a meet that didn't require the risk, and still walking away with team gold anyway. She's verbally committed to LSU as part of its incoming 2026 signing class, a decision that will eventually force a choice between elite competition and college gymnastics. But her own stated goals run further than that. Worlds 2026, 2027, and Los Angeles 2028, a second Olympic Games. This time, not as the youngest name on the roster, but potentially as the one everyone else is chasing. Does Hezly Rivera become the face of the next American gymnastics generation, the way a 16-year-old West Virginian did 40 years before her? Drop your prediction in the comments. I read every single one. If this story hit you the way it hit me, hit subscribe, because with LA 2028 on the horizon, this is only the beginning of her story.